Hello, welcome to this training series on Boomi. As we know, we are an organization dedicated to discovering on how integration works. And what we always do in our integration trainings, we always explore various approaches, various how to consume various services. So before we actually we go into technical terms very deep into the training today, we'll just actually have a little overview of what this course is going to be like, what a little introduction on Boomi, and yeah, we'll have a little introduction on Del Booming. What's the purpose? We would look at the prerequisites for having doing this course. Then we'll see how the course is structured, and later on we'll end by how to get the best out of this course. Because as the designers of the course, we know how well to structure the course to actually gain good value for both we the lecturers and also for the students that are taking this course. The idea of this course is not just for you to have the technical knowledge, but for you to be able to scale in through any interview. Or you have your first interview as an integration expert, either Dell Boomi or Mulsoft or SAP CPI. When you go through any of our series, you should be able to answer them comfortably. So just be going into what's actually Boomi. So Boom is like a platform as a service. So basically, what it does is it helps us connect. It helps us connect different applications. It gives us with a facility that helps us connect APIs. So because as you know today in the world of technology, a key word or a key term is microservices. Applications are not built all together in one box, all together using the same languages. So it's important to have a platform that they can talk to each other, they can communicate with each other effectively, and share data across board. So that's the good effective use of Boomi. So with this, we have a very graphical tool we can use in um, receiving API, creating APIs that can consume APIs, and also giving out APIs. And the good thing about Boomi, like the rest of the other integration tool, is the orchestration platform, the API management. So it has different names from applications to applications. Some applications use orchestration. In Boomi, we use management, API management, and the rest. We'll be exploring that all in during the course. So basically, Boomi is a type of middleware. So middleware are just it's any tool or any software that help developers build application um, more efficiently. So the use of a middleware is to make connection easier, more transparent, and more flexible. Because you need to have a central box, a cleaner box, where a HR system can talk to a finance system, and at every point in time we can understand what was transmitted, what if there was an error, we can track the errors, and also better tracking, better visibility. Because today many organizations use more than one application, more than two applications, so we need to have a cleaner way of doing this. And so that's why we actually learning this um, middleware. And today we are in this training series we are focusing on Dell Boomi. Dell acquired Boomi around 2010, around the year 2010, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very strong tool, cloud based, for helping us consume APIs, create APIs, manage APIs, very flexible tool. Um, and the good thing about Boomi, it's unified, so everything happens on one place. You can and actually and we network all the applications together. And the good thing about it for an organization, it reduces the overhead cost. Also for cloud administrators, it's simpler to use, it's easier to use, it's it's more logical to use. When you look at the any flow, you'll be able to appreciate it better than any code. So we move on to our approach of training. Like, what as an organization, what do we do? So like we just from time to time we just release trainings on common integration suites or middlewares. We currently have for Dell Boomi, which is what we are releasing now. And we have also released MuleSoft and the past and SAP CPI. These are great tools. These are the leading integration tools. There's also Informatica, which is another excellent tool out there in the market. We'll be releasing a tutorial about that pretty soon. And the good thing about the training is we are going to actually try and create real life scenarios. And we'll be creating what we'll be doing is we'll be creating web services database, FTP connections, file transfers, messaging services, and system adapters. So when I mean system adapters, how to connect to SAP, how to connect to Salesforce, how to connect to Workday. These are leading applications that most times we integrate with in everyday businesses. And one thing we do during the course, or why our training is very unique, is because we use a real life scenario throughout the process, throughout the training. So in another session, I'll be telling you about explain the real life scenario. Basically, the real life scenario is just about the postal service. Everybody, if you're following the training, if you're in the US, you'll be familiar with the UPS. If you're in German or in Germany, you know the Dutch Post. If you're in India, the Indian Post. Also, if you're in France, La Poste. These are just simple postal services. So we are trying to simulate something like that. What is the operation like, and we'll be able to create business processes and business stories. So the idea of this is also learning functionally how to translate business needs to technical designs. That's the good approach to our course. So I'll be moving on. What are the prerequisites for this course? So simply, if you can understand the word null, you'll be able to follow along throughout the course. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. It's a tool. If you understand, you already understand what communication is. We are trying. We are not. This course is aimed at both beginners, experts, and intermediary. Even though you're an expert, there's also one or two things you can actually learn from the course. That's the idea of the course, and why we love this series is, or how you'd actually gain very good value of this. I'll discuss about that in the next slide, but you should you should communicate with us on our channels, and I'm certain you actually get derive good value from this. So our tutorials are actually organized in series. Our tutorials are organized in series, and we try to use real scenarios, real databases, real servers, FTP servers. So I think it's advisable that when you're following the course, you should try and create these FTP servers, databases, and most times we use things that are free or are very that are really pretty inexpensive to be able to make everybody follow along. The reason that we try to use real servers is because on day to day, when you get into the business world, you wouldn't be always working on your local host on your local system. So we try to use something that is real. So like even when we are working with a series in the FTP, we don't use FTP, we use SFTP, which is what you would likely encounter in your day business in your as a developer, an API designer. Then also during the course, we also make sure you get familiar with the terminologies, the jargons around this. What is orchestration? What is data mapping? What is maps? What are processes? Would explain all that during this. Then also from time to time, some topics actually in what we call extensions, which are not really tied to the Boomi tutorials. So you should also try and look for those extensions and you should watch it. You follow them sequentially, you'll be able to derive a very good value about it. Then also join the community, provide feedback, and ask questions. We'll always respond to your questions. So and one thing we're always trying to do is from the next tutorial, we want to get our hands gets our hands into action. We want to be able to build process. We want to be able to build real flows. That's why we'll be trying to work on Hello World. Hello World is a very popular tutorial if you're a developer across languages. It's something that invites virtually all languages. So we'll be trying to create a Hello World scenario. And just before we do that, so I'll just take you about a little bit store, how to actually get a trial account, a Boomi trial account. Then also, I'll show you we'll show you setting up your first just a little bit about it and some basic understanding. So when we go ahead into the full training, you can actually understand, you can actually move with us at great speed. So this is the end of the first series. I look forward to joining you in the next episode. Thank you.